Us, Dr. Gates with us. There
Hi,
you are.
yes.
How are
How are
you?
you, my friend?
I'm
How
good.
are you?
You are busy. I saw you this morning. You've been on all TV channels. So glad you took some time out for us today.
Of course, you're not only our family and friends, but I just love spending time with you and chatting. I saw you yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Exactly, exactly. Let me say publicly, thank you so much for your support for the Washington Informer Spelling Bee. It broadcast last Sunday, and I know people can still watch it. We're sending the
Mhm.
links out, and so we really, really appreciate that partnership. So, but here
Congratulations,
we,
40 years,
yeah,
celebrating the 40th
yeah.
anniversary. That's a lot for us all to be proud of. And we just love partnering with you all on the spelling bee. And I
Thank
actually
you.
get caught off guard with a few of those words. I need to
Oh,
step
a
up
lot
my
of them.
game.
It helps, it helps to have teleprompters and scripts in front of you, but some of them you can't even pronounce, right? Because they're
Right,
such big words. Dr.
right.
Gay, let's talk about Emancipation Day tomorrow. But I always have to put this in a perspective.
Mhm,
The whole nation has focused on Juneteenth, and I
mhm,
think it's a great day because it was one of the last days when slavery was abolished that a state of Texas
mhm,
finally it informed their enslaved people there that they were free. But
mhm.
we all have our dates. And Washington, D.C., if you can just explain it, how we were the first freed and why we
Right, well,
celebrate Emancipation Day.
right, right. No, thank you. Let's just say one of the most pivotal holidays here in Washington, D.C. is Emancipation Day. Going back 160 years, we're going to talk about the D.C. Compensated Emancipation Act that was signed April 16th, 1862 by President Abraham Lincoln. That occurrence is what set the trajectory for slaves being freed across America. And it happened right here in Washington, D.C., 8 months prior. And the enslaved individuals would get compensation for relocating. And that's historic. And that is something that not only we celebrate here, but should be celebrated all over. So it's so important for us to pause here in Washington, D.C. and acknowledge that. And keep in mind, we're still fighting for our freedom. We're fighting to become the 51st state. We're fighting for full democracy. We're fighting for a right in our vote in Congress. So that has not changed, but this is such a historic time for us.
I have to give, only because I know a little bit of the history, but I have to give a shout out to former council member Vincent Orange
Oh,
for
yes.
leading this effort, to make sure that we didn't, this was a big holiday
Mhm.
for Washingtonians for many, many years. And I'm sure you know that history too.
Mhm.
But for him to
Mhm.
bring that back, and now here you all are making it another great holiday for Washingtonians.
Yes, yes, and shout out to former council member Vincent Orange. As a matter of fact, I talked to him 3 days ago, and he will be with us for the celebration. And I'm so appreciative of Mayor Muriel Bowser and the support that she has provided the council. But it's something that we have to continue and must continue to move forward. But we have a lot in store for
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's what I was going to ask. So, and fortunately, you get some good weather coming. So, what's coming up?
So we're excited. So we're going to kick off tomorrow with a parade at 2 p.m. We're going to be at 10th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. That parade will go down to Freedom Plaza and end at 14th Street. And this year we added something special. We have a DC statehood food truck palooza. So we get to highlight all the cuisines here in Washington, D.C. Now we know D.C. is the home of mumbo sauce and the home of go-go, but we'll have our food truck palooza. And of course, at 3 o'clock, we're going to get it started with an all-star lineup concert that kicks off at 3 with the national anthem by Miss District of Columbia 2021 Andolin. So we're really excited about that. And of course, once again, DC is the home of go-go, so you know Junkyard is going to bring it. We have CeeLo Green coming in, Crystal Waters, Slick Rick the Ruler. You commented earlier about your dad saying lottie dottie. Look, You're going to hear that all day tomorrow. We're going to do a little bit of salsa with Alfredo. We have the Crochet Kingpin coming in, Dior, Ashley Brown, and just tons of others. DJ Cool will be joining us spinning. So it's just so much that we have in store. Ramsey Renee, 16 years old and like doing amazing things. But once again, what is a festival and a celebration without fireworks? So we'll have fireworks around 8:30 tomorrow evening as well.
That sounds, I mean, it sounds like a full day. Again, another family day. Folks can come down and just enjoy all the festivities. And, you know, it's almost like you took 2 years to plan this, or you had 2 years to plan this, because who knew that we would be in a shutdown and not be able to get out and celebrate. So, I mean, I'm sure this took a lot of planning.
It definitely took a lot of planning. You know, 2 years we were away from each other, and sometimes you just need each other. But more importantly, we had to make sure that we did it in a safe posture. We had to make sure that health and safety came first, and it has, and it's so good for us to finally get back together. We did present a documentary last year, and that was a wonderful story about our fight from state, you know, going from full democracy and being disenfranchised to getting that right in Congress and being just on a full democracy platform. But this year it's just good to come together. We all need each other. We all have had the struggles of ups and downs in life. And so this gives us an opportunity to enjoy some good weather, good music, good food, and just enjoying good conversations with each other, which is so key.
And if I can also point something else out that I observed in your lineup, because although this is a celebration of the freedom of enslaved people in the District of Columbia, it still seems like a multicultural event. And it, you might want to, I don't know what you could tell us about that, but it was good that you have that kind of a lineup.
Yeah, the main thing for us, we always want to maintain being inclusive and equitable across the board. We also want to make sure that we highlight all 8 wards in Washington, D.C. But to have Alfredo come in, that's bringing in a lot of music and culture, and the dynamic of our Latin music is key. But let's make sure, too, we talk about our multi-generations. We have Jack and Jill and the youth team coming in to talk about statehood, and they're talking about that at a very young age. We have Jesse Lee from Bling Empire, who's actually supporting us in this statehood fight, joining us. And he is very, very focused on making sure the Asian Pacific Islander community is engaged, not only from statehood, but from an emancipation perspective. So at the end of the day, it's key and important that we are all in this together, and we all have had to move forward with the definition and the meaning behind emancipation. You know, we all have our generations, our grandmothers, our great-grands, but we've all had to come together to really focus on what's important, because we all matter. We really do.
Well, I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask because I want to hear you give the answer. How much does this cost to attend?
Free. I wish I could say that I wish I was bilingual. Unfortunately, I'm NOLA. I got some New Orleans, that Southern accent. That's about as far as I can go. But it is free and it's family friendly. So it's so important that everyone comes out. Everyone will have something to enjoy. So bring the entire family out, and it costs absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And your time, you can never get back, but I promise you it's worth it. So there are more activities that we'll be adding on DCEmancipationDay.com, but it's free. And I expect to see you there, Denise, and your entire team. Shevry, Kevin, everybody. I want everyone to come down, but please let's get together. It's been long overdue. We're 2 years behind, so I want to see some smiling faces and some dance moves, of course.
So, oh yeah, I've been practicing a little. I haven't, you know, I don't need new steps. My steps are at least 2 years old. But last question, because while I have you, you think what else is on the horizon over at Officer Cable Television? film,
Well,
music, and
I
entertainment.
have to give a shout out to the team, and everyone here has been working hard, even through the pandemic. We probably did over 200 live press conferences over the course of time, making sure that our residents of Washington D.C. are up to date. But we're known for making history and winning Emmys and winning
That's
awards. So
right.
we're doing a lot of original content. We recently launched DCE, the District of Columbia Entertainment Network, which focuses on lifestyles and culture here in Washington, D.C. But in a couple of months, we will be celebrating 202 Creates for the entire month of September, and the Mayor's Arts Awards, where we get to highlight all our creatives here in Washington, D.C. So we are busy. Emancipation Day is just going to start a time in which everything creative will be celebrated up until we get towards the end of the year. So we're excited. So you got to stay tuned.
Yeah, and just share. I know I gotta let you go, but
No, it's
channel
okay.
where people can see all of this great programming. Where can they see it?
So DCN. So our hope is to have everyone come out, for example, tomorrow. But we will be live on Channel 16 on DCN. We also have DCC, which is our City Council channel, and that's very important because when you talk about policy and legislation, that channel will keep you up to date. We don't stop there. We have DKN, the District Knowledge Network, which is our education channel. So when we were in a pandemic posture, when there was teleworking and education from home, we actually used our DKN network to do classroom education. And I just want to also give a shout out to DC Radio. We recently celebrated our anniversary for DC Radio, and that was historic. We're the first government municipality ran radio station in partnership with WHUR. So we got to have you come over and get interviewed on some of our programming as well.
Well, it's funny because I hate to say remember when, but I remember those early days when uh, the channel first started, and
Mhm.
over on 14th Street. And Dr. Gates, you and the team there have done so much to really
Thank
help to
you.
keep DC residents informed. I remember somebody saying once upon a time, we don't need this. And I'm so glad the residents said, are you crazy? This is extremely important.
We
So
do. We
it's a
do.
value. It's a value.
And one of the things I want to add, because so much of our focus is creativity and music and television and entertainment, but I do want to highlight our program, Care for the Creatives. That's a program that we developed during the course of a pandemic in partnership with the George Washington University. And that is a pay what you can counseling. So if you only have a penny in your pocket, you get certified counseling. So for all the physical well-being that's important, your mental well-being is key as well. So I wanted to highlight that program because that's something that we often don't get a chance to talk about, but it's just as important.
Wow. Okay. Well, we don't want you to be a stranger here at Win TV, and I'll be over there anytime. But thank you so much for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you. And you all keep up the
Got it.
good work. You all are doing some amazing things.
Thank you. Thank you. See you at Freedom Plaza tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Yes. See you
Okay.
then. All right.
All righty. Thank you.